Hello, I'm Jessie Johnson. This is the four great dome firmaments and their heights. Do not accept anything the anti-science believers say or write. The earth is in fact an absolute flat because they are against the truth. The earth is in fact flat-surfaced where we humans live, and earth is safely housed within four roughly concentric dome firmaments, each one having several purposes. The first dome is about 73 miles up on an average. The second dome, which houses the sun, moon, and wandering stars, is about 2,000 miles up on average. The third dome, which houses Polaris, the North Star, is about 7,000 miles up on average. And the fourth dome, which houses the high stars, is about 175,000 to 200,000 miles up on average. Let's begin. What I've done here gives only a general outlook only. This is from the old book. The old book is most of the time called the Holy Bible. This is the King James Version, New American Standard Bible, and International Standard Version, unitized as one, Isaiah 40:22. The 22nd verse states, "It is he who sits enthroned above the disc circle, vault of the earth and world. Its inhabitants are lack and as grasshoppers. He who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, veils thin cloth, and spreads them out like a tent to dwell and live in." This is from the old book. Now let's continue. This is from the book of Enoch, chapter 2, verses 37 and 102. The illuminaries, speaking of the sun, moon, and stars. Verses 37. "As he rises," the sun that is, "as he rises, so he sets and decreases not, but runs day and night, and his light is sevenfold brighter than that of the moon. But as regards size, they are both equal." In other words, the sun and the moon are both equal in size. We'll go to verse number 102. "And Uriel showed me another law, when light is transferred to the moon, and on which side it is transferred to by the sun." In other words, the sun gives the moon some of its energies. Let's continue. Now, this here is a general view of what the earth looks like for general purposes. Now, this here is the central North Pole. The central North Pole. This here is the North Pole, South Pole, West Pole, and East Pole. And we'll start with number one. Number one is here. Number one is the dome. The dome stretches all the way across the earth itself, all the way to its edges. And there are sections to the dome. This here is section A, which covers the central earth where we live. Then section B covers the next, from the first Antarctic to the second Antarctic, and the second Antarctic to the third Antarctic is another section. Number one, the dome itself is number one, is 73 to 80 miles. This is the Earth Dome-Firmament, which is 385 to 390,500 feet, all the way to 475,200 feet. We'll go to number two. Number two is here. Number two is here. You see these small yellowish orange lines right here? All around here. This is the top of the curving of the domes themselves. The top of the curving of the domes. Each one of these has these curving of the dome, but I didn't put them here because I didn't want it to look too busy. So, number three is here. This is the central North Pole right here. The central North Pole, where there are four small continents surrounding the exact central North Pole. Number four, we'll go to number four. Number four is right here. right here, right here, right here is entries and exits to the next lands and seas of the other Antarcticas. There are entrances and exits to the first, entrances and exits to the second Antarctic, and so forth. Number 5, 6, and 7 is right here. 5, 6, and 7 is the Dome-Firmament base footings foundations and the foundations. And if you look at these dotted lines, the dotted lines on each Antarctica, the dotted lines on each Antarctica is the Dome-Firmament base footings foundations. Now, number 8. We'll go to number 8. This dome, the Earth's dome, which is number 1, 73 to 80 miles on an average high, is called the Mark Sargent Primary Earth Dome-Firmament. That's number 8, right across here. This is the Mark Sargent Primary Earth Dome-Firmament. 9, 10, and 11 is here. 9, 10, and 11 is the first equator. The first equator, this reddish looking line is the first equator. The second equator is right here. The second equator is right here. And the third equator is right here. The third equator. Now, 12, 13, and 14. 12, 13, and 14 is the first Antarctic belt right here. Number 13 is the second Antarctic belt right here. Number 14 is the third Antarctic belt right here. Let's continue, please. Now, number 14.1 is right here. 14 and 14.1. The 14.1 is the 14.1 is here, is the Mark Kinney Vedic, VEDIC, Vedic Great Mountain Range of the third Antarctic. The Martin Kinney Great Mountain, Vedic Great Mountain Range of the third Antarctic. Vedic Great Mountain Range. Number 15. Number 15 is right here. Extraterrestrials. That means extra means more of, lots more of, and terrestrial means land. Extra land. All of these brown parts are continents and extra land. All of that extra land outside of the first Antarctic. All nothing but extra land. Nothing but extraterrestrial, extra land. Number 16, right here. Number 16 is the Earth's edge, Dome-Firmament. At the edge of the Earth itself is a Dome-Firmament which houses the Earth, which houses the edges of the Earth right around here. Number 16, right here, is the Earth's edge, Dome-Firmament. And number 17. Number 17 is right here. Number 17 is Admiral Byrd Land. And number 18 is right here, is Barrington Land, right on the other side of the first Antarctic. Now, this has been part 1. Please go to part 2, where part 2 will begin where part 1 left off, which is right here. We'll go to part 2. I'll meet you on part 2. Thank you for watching, but go to part 2.